Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand. I'm Jay, and joining me today is special guest Natty Warisa.
Hello, everybody.
And of course, Tim Newton.
Aren't I special as well?
Yeah, I guess.
Why is Natty special?
Everyone is special out there to someone.
Thank you.
Right.
Hello, viewer.
Would you like to address the viewers? We've got a lot of viewers today. I'm happy about that. It's a Friday morning in Bangkok. It's quite sunny. That was a quick weather report, and a lot of you have joined us. Thank you for always watching us live. Let's address a couple of comments. Good evening, all from West TX Greg, who's a member. Thank you for being a member.
It must be evening where he is. It's some 9:30 in the morning here in Bangkok, Thailand, as we look out across the Bangkok skyline. Khon Kaen apparently is sunny and 29 degrees, according to Gurn. Good morning.
Bangkok skyline, all we see are tall buildings. Let me give a quick shout out to Larry Connolly and Rick G. Thank you for being Tiger Legends, and thank you for supporting the channel and for being members, as well as Coffee Culture. We have an office subscription for Coffee Culture, and we get our coffees once every 2 weeks. You can set up whatever time you want and get their new office subscription. So yeah, if you like coffee and if you like drinking coffee in your office and you want it for everyone, coffeeculture.asia is the place to go.
Good morning from Australia, from Grey Digital Stephen. Saying hello to Natty as well, making inappropriate comments.
I haven't addressed it yet, but today is Loi Krathong.
Oh yes, happy Loi Krathong to you both.
Happy Loi Krathong, guys.
Everybody.
Yes. Happy Loi Krathong. Is that all we say to each other?
Are you guys going anywhere?
Yes. Now tonight I will be going, as I mentioned yesterday, down to it's a lake in Katu in Phuket.
Wow.
Go down there
live
every year, and I'm not sure. I think it's called the Katu Lake. But it's a bit of a sort of a recreational park and cultural centre there. And we always go and we buy a environmentally friendly krathong, which is made from natural products, not the polystyrene ones with the pins. Yep. Don't buy those. And we launch it with the candles. And of course, we always struggle to get the candles lit. And we push the krathong, and then it all washes back along with all the others. It's just a cluster fest.
That's right. Talking about environmentally friendly krathongs, you can watch Natty's video that came out yesterday about making biodegradable and environmentally friendly krathongs with Caitlin. So yeah, check that out. It might be important. You can make it at home and you can float it nearby, wherever it may be. It's all about participation. All right, let's talk about what we're going to be talking on the show. We will be talking about AirAsia struggling. We're going to be talking about, is tourism really in trouble in Thailand, as well as looking at China and its impact on Thai tourism.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless you. As well as the upcoming changes to the Thaiger and our programs. So stay tuned. It's a busy, packed episode. Let's start firstly with Thai AirAsia.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Of course, on November the 1st, there was this grand reopening, and the clouds parted and the planets came into alignment and everything was going to be fantastic in Thailand again. And the TAT, of course, sprouting their usual highly inflated and very optimistic numbers. But Thai AirAsia say they're doing it really tough. Now, they've announced some mass layoffs and some extended furloughs for staff who are already laid off. And the employees were told on Wednesday this week, Jay and Natty.
Yep.
I can't even pronounce the executive chairman of AirAsia. Does somebody want to have a go with his name?
Yes, his name is Kun Tasapon Bieleveld.
That's the one. So he says the real situation in terms of the aviation outlook remains unstable. He also said we have to permanently cut the fleet for at least 2 years, or until international and domestic flights fully recover. They're going to cut their fleet from 60 planes down to 54. Thai AirAsia is a subsidiary of the big AirAsia company, which is a Malaysian company. The airline estimates that the domestic market should fully recover by the middle of next year. That's his prediction. And that international flights might gradually return to 20 to 30% of 2019 levels by that time. So it's still a fairly pessimistic outlook for the recovery. Now, I do fly regularly every week, twice a week. And what I'm seeing, I see the planes that are parked ready to carry passengers. seems to me, and I'm happy for your comments, that Thai Vietjet, which is a subsidiary of the Vietjet low-cost carrier, have fared the best out of this mess. I'm not seeing many knock planes. Thai Smile, a few. I'm not seeing any Thai Airways flights domestically. Who else is there? Thai Lion Air, they're flying out of Don Muang, so I'm not really seeing those. And a few Air Asia planes. They fly out of both Don Muang, sorry about that, and Suvarnabhumi. So, yeah, interesting situation. Thai Air Asia doing it tough, and they've announced a net loss of 2 billion baht for the third quarter of this year. So they're not travelling well at the moment.
Yeah. I guess my comment on this would be, I've never preferred to fly Air Asia anyways. Even though it started off as being the low-cost airline, Vietjet has always had better prices. So for a flight from Phuket to Bangkok, which is only 1 hour, it would be almost 500 baht or 400 baht cheaper than Air Asia. So I would have always preferred to fly the other domestic airlines. So
we're not sponsored by any airline,
yes.
by the way. We've got no. We've got nothing to support one airline or another. We're just reporting what we see.
Yeah, I don't know how they came up with their prices, Air Asia, but they've always been more expensive than the other flights. So therefore, they've definitely struggled a lot more than probably Vietjet as well.
Who's your favourite airline, Natty?
I like Air Asia, to be honest. I think it's just maybe their marketing campaign really catches my eyes, and it's the way I can book it online is very easy as well. So I like that one.
It's just a more beautiful, aesthetically pleasing airline.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
The two things that always catch my eye, I'm not sure if this actually, I think I'm usually fairly price driven, but I find the booking on the Vietjet fairly easy for me. They've all changed them quite a lot over the last year anyway to make them a bit more visually appealing and faster. The fact that it generates a QR code and I go, QR code on my phone and it takes the money straight out of my bank in seconds. Frighteningly easy. And also the uniforms. I love the uniforms on Thai Vietjet for some reason.
Really? I find them hilarious.
Wait, what do they look like?
So they wear shorts.
They wear shorts?
The ladies wear the shorts,
okay.
and they both wear polo tops with sort of tartan piping. And the gentlemen wear like satin black slacks with a pinstripe right down the side. And they always finish their, the safety chat at the start with a salute, which I think is very crisp.
I've never even paid attention to that.
Well, you should, because one day you might need to know.
No, I pay attention to the message, just not the salute.
You'd always be in the exit rows in the middle of the plane because of your long legs, I would have thought.
Yeah, generally, and the emergency exit. People are nice. I'm a giant when I get into the plane. All right, let's move on and talk about something else. Soft loans for airlines. Now, okay, let's just stick to the same
Theme?
Theme of airlines. There was an article out today on the Bangkok Post talking about how airlines have basically given up on getting help from the government regarding soft loans. Now, a lot of the domestic airlines were asking the government for help. Obviously, during the pandemic, because of these tough times, they needed help to sustain their workforce and their fleets. As you can see, Air Asia cutting down and having furloughs. But yes, a lot of the other domestic airlines as well needed help, and they've given up now because Kun Putipong Prasert Thong Osot, who is the Bangkok Airways president, and
well
also...
done.
Thank you. And also president of the Airlines Association of Thailand. Now, he's come out and say, from the government's explanation, they feel that they cannot allocate soft loans to us because it might discriminate against other industries that also suffer from the pandemic. Now, I thought this was strange, as well as it did make a lot of sense as well. Yes, a lot of different industries have struggled, but since we're all out tourism and Thailand needs tourism and making promotional videos and saying we're reopened now, would you not try to help your domestic airlines, which I feel would be essential to allow the traveling of these tourists to come to Thailand?
tourists can't get to where they want to go,
Exactly.
they're not going to come in the first place. So I think you're right. Alex Thai has got a very good comment and a solution, Jay,
Yep.
to this. He says maybe Thai Airways can lend them part of their 51 billion baht profit.
Yeah, maybe they could. Hey, good
Great idea.
They'd only help Thai Smile, I guess, because that's their direct sister airline. I don't know what they're called. Yeah. All right. That's it for airlines for now. What we'll do is we'll take a quick break. And once we come back from the break, we're going to go on a tourism journey. We're going to go to Hua Hin. We're going to go to Phuket. We're going to go to Chiang Mai. As well as
Chonburi.
And Chonburi. And we're going to talk about how tourism currently is in Thailand. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back right after this. Hello and welcome back to Lumberjack Friday. I'm Jay, this is Natty, and that's Tim.
West TX Greg says, hey, you're all looking great today. Clothes match your personality. Tim looks like he's ready for the beach. Natty is looking very elegant. And Jay, you keep rocking those lumberjack shirts.
Swinging those arms, my friend.
Swinging your
Arms.
Husqvarna chainsaw.
Oh yeah. No. I'm old school. I do
You're
it with an
still-
axe.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you might be a Husqvarna or Stillman.
Oh, husky always, yes. Natty is naturally occurring antidepressant authorized for emergency use. Oh, Natty.
Am I now?
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Cool. All right.
Kicking off this next topic, Retire and Go says, I'm in Pattaya now. Not many tourists, but Bangkok was not bad last week. So his impressions to kick off your next topic.
Okay, so going into the next topic, we're going to take a look at tourism in Thailand and specifically in the spots where tourists like to go the most. Let's firstly start with Prachuap Khiri Khan, in specific Hua Hin. Now, it's quite depressing how Hua Hin has actually been doing. You know, we talk about the reopening, people are coming in, here are the numbers of the people getting the Thailand pass. However, when it comes down to hard statistics, Hua Hin has really struggled. How bad really is it, Tim?
Well, the TAT, who are usually very optimistic with their numbers, they said for the last quarter of this year, they would get some 100,000 tourists in Hua Hin, Prachuap Khiri Khan, which also takes in like Cha Am, which is near there as well. So both those areas, they didn't quite reach 100,000, or it doesn't really look like they're heading in that direction. How many have they had so far, Natty?
Is it 56?
56. So it's
Wow.
not quite reaching the numbers they're hoping. Apparently, Thai media is reporting that plans to reopen Hua Hin and Cha Am to foreign tourists have completely failed. How do you pronounce Hua Hin? What do you say, Natty?
Hua Hin.
Hua Hin, Jay?
Yeah, Hua Hin.
Hua Hin. There you go.
Hin.
To Thai speakers. That's from the horse's mouth, as they say.
Yes.
No offence. The two resorts are around 200 kilometres south of Bangkok. It takes about 3 hours to drive to Hua Hin from Bangkok, right? So they're now going to focus on domestic tourists because their hope of getting international tourists seems to have been dashed. The Vice President of the Thai Hoteliers Association and the Special Advisor to Hua Hin and Cha Am said that despite the much vaunted November the 1st reopening, European tourists have not booked to come to the area. He says very few indeed. Visitors are Thais and 50% of those are business people for seminars. So it looks like it hasn't quite reached the statistics they want. But it's not just Hua Hin that's having the problem. Hua Hin that's having the problem.
You're going down. You're going up. You have to go down. Hua Hin.
I think we should do
Hua
more Hua
Hin.
Hin
Yes,
stories and have
yes.
Tim report them.
Yeah,
Hua
basically.
Hin. Hua Hin.
Hua
Yeah,
Hin.
Natty, let me just quickly ask
Right.
you. I guess we're from Phuket, so maybe Hua Hin is what Phang Nga or Khao Lak would be to Bangkokians. So you being a Bangkokian, what do you feel about Hua Hin, and does it make you sad knowing that the number 56? I mean, that's a sad statistical number.
Yeah, it is sad. I mean, like, I'm sad for all of Thailand, really, that we don't have enough tourists coming in to kind of revitalize our economy. But I think it's going to be very hard to really expect tourists to just come, because right now, internationally, let's say Europe and the UK, they're hitting their 5th wave now. So it's very hard as well for globally, I think, for people to just like, yeah, let's just come to Thailand. So I think it's going to affect everywhere right now. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Chonburi, Pattaya, Natty's favorite place in Thailand. Chonburi Tourism Council president says Pattaya is very quiet. Tim, I guess for a place that everyone's talking about, you know, the news that has really been a headline is that bars and restaurants, bars especially, have been trying to get the alcohol ban
removed,
lifted, as well as reopening them and allowing them to operate again. So is it really a shock that Pattaya is doing badly? And people like to compare Pattaya to Phuket. However, Pattaya and Phuket handled the COVID pandemic very differently.
Well, it's not that they... well, yes, they did handle it differently, but partly because that's the way that the various governments determined. Phuket, they decided, was going to be the guinea pig for what became the Phuket Sandbox, and then that's sort of been now rolled out across the country as a November the 1st general reopening, using a lot of the intel that they learned from there about how they wanted to reopen the country. Now, a lot of people say there's still too much paperwork, it's still too complicated, but this is the situation we've got. It's our job just to pass on the actual situation. So the problem using your phone, by the way, is that it keeps on turning off. But this gentleman who you were just talking about in Pattaya, who said it was very quiet, he's blaming the bar and nightlife closures and the complex re-entry rules. He says only 200 to 300 foreign visitors are going through test and go in Pattaya and Chonburi daily, and most stay one day. Chonburi daily, 1 day, leaving immediately. This is just a shock to me, and many blaming the lack of entertainment. 95% of those recent visitors are Thais, according to this gentleman. So this is just one person's feelings about what's happening in Pattaya at the moment. As we know, there's quite a push from some of the bar owners. The petitions have been reasonably successful and seems to be getting some sort of result, and they may be having some sort of slight reopening on December the 1st, but nothing's been approved or confirmed yet. But it's hard to see a place like Pattaya, I know you love it, Natty.
Love it.
Without its bars and its nightlife. That's really why you go there. You certainly wouldn't be going to Pattaya for the beaches, for example.
All right, let's now go down to the south to everyone's favorite island, Phuket.
Okay, so just Jason, heads up, we're going to run that bit of Richard Quest in a moment.
That's right. Richard Quest is in town. Firstly, who is Richard Quest?
Have either of you heard of Richard Quest?
No idea who that man is.
Okay, so Richard Quest has been around for quite a while. He's probably best known for his work on CNN as their travel, aviation and business sort of journalist. Quite flowery gentleman, about 58 years old, 59, and he's been around for a long time. He actually got COVID and expressed his journey through COVID for people to see on CNN. Didn't get terribly sick, but he was there every day. I've still got COVID and I'm broadcasting. But yeah, he is actually in Phuket, and this is what he had to say.
What is clear is that Thailand and all the countries that rely on tourism are desperate that we do visit soon. And providing the airlines are flying and the right safety and security measures are put in place, then I see no reason why more of us won't take part in this bonanza.
Richard Quest there in Phuket expressing his enthusiasm for the fact that, things are slowly opening up and that hopefully the people will come back. He did a Twitter, that's a much longer message on Twitter. He's there celebrating his honeymoon with his partner.
Cool. All right. Let's move on, shall we?
Not partner anymore, but husband.
Right. Congratulations,
Yeah,
Richard Quest.
very well done. Right. Let's go now to the north, to Chiang Mai. Our favorite mountainous areas apart from Chiang Rai. COVID infections are still extremely high in Chiang Mai. Natty, Chiang Mai is number 4 for the highest number of COVID infections at 278 currently. Any comments on Chiang Mai?
Any comments? Well, I know that the government has been really ramping up the vaccination for the population there very specifically because they do know that it is one of the more traveled to destinations. So that's good for the people there as well. And hopefully things will get better soon for them.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, you've got a graphic there of the COVID cases around Thailand. You can see that the top 4, you've got Bangkok number 1, Songkhla number 2, Nakhon Si Thammarat number 3, and then Chiang Mai, which isn't the most populous province in Thailand, but it does currently have 278 cases. I think they've been around the 300 mark all week. So that is something that they're probably trying to get under control very quickly because Chiang Mai is one of those provinces and regions in Thailand which is very reliant on tourism.
All right. I've got a comment here from West TX Greg, who is always the optimist and also a Tiger member. He says, 1 test and 1 night in a hotel is not really a big deal as most travelers will need to adjust for jet lag. Hey, there we go. Yeah. It's got a inbuilt solution.
2 comments, one from Follow Hands W.
Okay.
Hua Hin is the Florida in Thailand, a paradise for retirees. Yes, sort of.
Hua Hin is a very small place as well.
Yeah, it's not anything like Florida, really, as far as the size or the population. It's
Miami Beach vibes,
you call it a sort of a bit of a sleepy beach town, but very nice area. With a beautiful beach.
Sleepy beach town to Hua Hin. How dare you, Tim Newton?
Hua Hin.
It's because you've been spoilt by all the beautiful beaches in Phuket.
And a question, I thought, from Richard Bryce, and this is addressed to all of us, is this a good time to come to Thailand in your opinion? So, Natty, what do you think?
I think it's always a great time to come to Thailand because we're the land of smiles and we're known for hospitality and we treat you guys like kings and queens, so do come here.
I think anyone who comes to Thailand only for entertainment in terms of bars and alcohol, you're right about all your complaints. Don't come. But if you come to Thailand for any other reason, whether that's the food, the people, traveling around in the cities, where food twice because it's more important.
There's lots of food.
Temples,
massages,
beaches.
the beaches,
Mountains.
Exactly. This is the best time to come. The beaches are empty. Why would you want to go to a crowded beach, right? I mean, it's the best it's been. Some of the waters, some of the islands that you could travel to, it's crystal clear waters. It's waters that we haven't seen for like the last 10 years even.
20 years.
Yeah, so in terms of beautiful Thailand, amazing Thailand, this is the best time to come. Prices are low. You can go anywhere.
There's hardly any queues,
Exactly.
like really book restaurants typically, right? Like pre-pandemic, you would have to book months in advance. Right now you can just walk in some of the restaurants. Like it's pretty good.
Yeah, when it comes to queues, there's not many near queues or far queues.
Yeah.
What? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Near queues or far queues.
Far queues, yes.
So from my point of view, I'd say the beaches look fantastic at the moment.
Yes.
And I'm actually going to a beach that hasn't been open for about 3 years.
Which one is that?
Maya Bay.
Oh, you
Maya
are?
Bay.
I'm going to Maya Bay on
There
Sunday.
we go.
Lucky.
Exclusive,
Wow.
exclusive footage coming up. Maya Bay.
So we're taking the drone with us. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to get onto the beach, but we'll be trying. So we're going to be doing a bit of a report about... So Maya Bay, I suppose, is sort of the litmus test. If Maya Bay is open, Thailand is open because they closed it down pre-COVID. It was nothing to do with COVID because they were just suffering from the trampling of the beach by some 6,000 tourists every day. So we're going to head out there and a bit of an exclusive for the Tiger, and we'll probably file that either Sunday or Monday.
All right. Now, let's take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we're going to be talking a little bit more about tourism, specifically in how the Chinese people, tourists, and the country is so important for Thailand's tourism survival, as well as updates from the Thaiger and how we're going to implement new changes for the upcoming shows. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back after a refreshing break. I'm Jay, this is Natty, and that's Tim. Are you wearing a very nice shirt, Tim?
Yeah, another one of the shirts from Noom's mum. We don't know Noom's mum's name yet, but just another one of the very, very bright shirts. You may notice I've got a little tiny bulldog clip at the top.
Yeah.
But the shirts are a little bit low cut, and I don't really want to be showing my man bosoms too much.
But they're very airy. It's perfect for the Thai weather.
Yes, the
And
sort
I'm
of thing I'd be
yeah.
wearing to Maya Bay.
And I'm supporting Lumberjack Fridays because we represent.
Lumberjack Friday, that a thing, is it?
It is. Now.
Yes.
It is now.
Every Friday.
Yes. Chinese tourism. How important is it to Thailand's survival?
So,
Tim, you want to go first?
well, yeah, I was going to say, Jason, if you want to bring up this graphic, this is really interesting. The one with the pie chart. And this is figures from 2017. What we wanted to talk about here is how tourism was before COVID and what we can expect as it slowly recovers. Now, it's quite obvious from this chart. Some 57% of all tourists in Thailand in 2017 were from China. That is a huge number of tourists and shows just how important it was that Thailand was open to Chinese tourists. Now, it's a very different situation now where Chinese are not really allowed to travel, or if they do, it's very difficult for them to get back into the country, quarantine, etc. So the tourism bodies in Thailand are predicting that it could be well into next year until the Chinese start returning, and of course we don't know in what numbers. Now, another interesting statistic, if you bring up that other chart, this one, Natty, you might just like to address this, but a lot of people say, well, you know, the Chinese don't spend any money when they're in Thailand, they're not very good tourists. Well, on a per day basis, and this is what this chart is looking at, they actually do spend quite a lot. Natty, you might like to address those numbers.
Well, it does say here that Chinese spending is, 15 billion? Is that over 15 billion US dollars each year?
Yes.
Wow, that is incredible. I've just read that actually.
So if you look at these numbers here, it shows the Chinese are good spenders compared to these other countries.
Right. I guess the Chinese that come into Thailand, like a lot of them are new money, like they have a lot of money to spend, and they also go for high-end things. Like I noticed like in Paragon and places like that, they really spend. Like there's a queue outside Louis Vuitton. I can't speak French, but yeah, outside like really high-end stores, and they're just ballers.
Also, I think it's also the volume, guys. I mean,
Sure.
It's just a mass amount of people who come together, whether it's tours or what, and that adds up.
That graphic was a per day, per person graph. So it shows that they're certainly equal and in fact exceeding a lot of other countries. The reason that a lot of people perceive the Chinese spending as less than other countries is they usually only stay for 2 or 3 days. That is the extent of their tours. It's just the way that they holiday from China, and of course Thailand only being 5 or 6 hours away. But the European tourists, for example, and even Americans, Australians, they usually stay for 1 or 2 weeks. So their total spending would be more because they're just here for longer. But on a per day, per person basis, the Chinese are one of the highest spenders. By the way, these figures come from the Adventure Travel Trade Association, and these figures from 2017. So if Thailand really wants to recover its tourism, I think the point I was trying to make by presenting this, and by the way, it was a Thaiger article posted in 2019 that was reposted on a Facebook page, Expats in Thailand. It had quite a lot of people talking about it, arguing about the numbers, of course. But if Thailand wants to recover, if it doesn't have the Chinese, it's never, ever, ever going to recover to the previous amounts. We note in 2019 there was 39.6 million tourists or international travellers coming to Thailand.
Right. Chinese money matters. Just ask Alfa Romeo.
What's got to do with Alfa Romeo?
If you know, you know.
Okay, I don't know, so I'm none the wiser on that one.
Motorsports. All right, let's move on to the last topic of today, which is talking about us. And we love talking about ourselves, don't we? As people have constantly reminded me. The changes to the Thaiger and our upcoming shows. Now, so Tim, would you like to kick us off?
Well, sadly, I've been demoted. I'm being kicked off Good Morning Thailand. I'm disposable.
By your own choice.
I've been flung off the end of the bench. I'm going to be joining the pigeons, walking around the ledge outside and watching with a tear in my eye from the distance as you two continue hosting the program.
That's right. Natty will start co-hosting and hosting the show Good Morning Thailand with me as Tim does something else. What will you be doing?
Well, cleaning. The toilets need cleaning. Somebody has to do the dishes, and Natty's been trying to push me out the back of the door for ages, and she's taken over.
Shoulders need to be stepped on.
So I'm sort of just doing a bit of a swap, basically.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm walking into the news and putting on my my suit coat again.
That's right.
And Natty's taking on the mantle in the centre spot of the desk.
That's right. So starting next week, mid next week, Thailand top stories and more news headlines will be done by Tim. You will get to see his beautiful face early in the morning as you get your top headlines from all across Thailand early in the morning.
Apparently I've got to wear lipstick and do my nails to do Thailand top stories.
Yes, and me and Natty will be hosting Good Morning Thailand. We will be having a little bit of a format change, and Good Morning Thailand, like always, has always been a talk show. That's what the main idea behind the show was. We will be having guest appearances, specialist guests, so stay tuned to see how the show goes. Some more changes at the Thaiger. We will be making a new channel called Thaiger Entertainment. Now, as we have tried to expand and do more and more different types of shows, we understand that a lot of the people come to the Thaiger for our news shows, for information. So what we've tried to do is separate all the things that we want to do and expand into, as well as maintaining and keeping what we're already good at and what you come to watch. So we will have Thaiger News as usual. We'll add some more news shows to that channel, but we'll also create another channel, and this will be all entertainment shows where you get to see videos like Natty's weekly challenges and Natty's more extended documentaries about
frivolous entertainment,
about food, about travel as the country's reopening, where to visit, the top 10 things to do, the top 10 things not to do, as well as a host of other shows that will be coming on in the next couple of months, as well as perhaps some new faces. So it's exciting times here at the Thaiger. We've finally got our bearings in, what's the word?
Bangkok?
Balance?
Well, we've also got the Thai channel. I'm pointing over there because that's where they're all sitting.
That's right.
So we're working very hard to get the Thai language channel going as well.
Yep.
I should mention that only 2 weeks ago we started doing TikTok, Natty. You went into TikTok?
Yes, I am, and I do follow our TikTok.
Well, one of the posts they did in TikTok last week is now up to, I think, 2.3 million views. So our TikTok channel in Thai language has gone crazy. In English, not yet, but we're still expanding as quickly as we can and providing better programs. Just a note here from James Peter Mitchell, who says he arrived via Phuket 45 days ago, now staying in Chonburi. He says Pattaya has definitely more visitors, but Jomtien is more busy and beaches are great. He says better than Phuket. Well, if you think the beaches in Jomtien are better than Phuket, you probably didn't see many beaches.
Yeah.
But the beaches are okay in Pattaya, but that's not really the reason you go there.
Yeah, Gordon Duncan, you should put Jay on the Thaiger Entertainment channel. He has good sarcastic humor. Thank you, Gordon. Yes, you will be seeing me on that channel as well as Natty, as well as new faces, and of course, Tim is always going to be around. We will try to get you
Make
on.
me sound like a bad smell.
We're going to try to get you on Thaiger Unfiltered, where you can ask the hot questions, and Tim will go deep into unfiltered answers.
Are you going to be doing like chainsaw reviews for your lumberjack following?
Possibly, who knows? Unboxing, chainsaw reviews, whatever you want. Entertainment is entertainment, and be prepared to be entertained. And we'd love your support, and of course, to subscribe and join our new channel. I can assure you, if you want to be entertained, you will be 100%.
If you want to unbox a Husqvarna chainsaw, this will be the place to see it.
That's right.
Very Thai.
Lumberjack Friday. Stay tuned.
Country that stopped logging some 30 years ago.
Allegedly, you don't know.
I do.
You don't know what goes on in the north.
What if Natty and Jay are Tim's children and they are just live streaming from the breakfast table?
That's basically what we do, because we clearly look like Tim's children.
I don't get it. It's a very strange comment sometimes. Anyway,
Tim's lived a fruitful life.
I humbly hand over all these viewers to your care.
Yeah.
Do I walk off now? Is this sort of the walk-off scene, or we do that next week?
Sure. No, that we'll make it a dramatic thing.
Hopefully.
We'll put a countdown timer. We'll add some background music.
Dramatic.
Some fans. Well, nothing will blow. But
The final scene is the camera sort of dollies up into the sky.
yeah. All right. That is it. That is it for the show today. It's a Friday morning. We hope you have a great Friday. We hope you have even a better weekend. And yes, those are all the topics for today. Tim's found a great comment, I guess.
Somebody's saying if I'm going to the news, good luck with the Thai pronunciations.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes, I will be struggling. I admit it.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, Natty.
Thank you so much for having me again.
I've got
Thank you, Natty.
Yeah, and you will be seeing more of Natty starting mid next week. And thank you, Tim Newton, for passing down the mantle, giving us your wisdom. You know,
Get on with it.
yeah, he doesn't like compliments. And of course, Jason behind the buttons, Chai behind doing the editing, and thank you to the viewers for always supporting us. We do this not only for us, but for you. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Monday.
Happy Loi Krathong.
Happy Lokatong!
Bye.
Lokatong!